Hey y'all, Kevin here, and this is Pure Reviews, where I review all kinds of products. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you find this particular video helpful, be sure to hit that like button before you go. It really helps out the channel a ton. So today's product that I am reviewing is available on Amazon, so there is a link in the description that'll take you to the product page where you can see the current price point, see if it's on sale, all that fun information. But what is it? It is a doggy DNA test kit by a company called Embark. I decided to go ahead and get my dog tested and see what other breeds he may be. So he is a Siberian Husky, I do know that. But I'm kind of curious to see what other different breeds may be floating around in his DNA. Now, if you are into DNA testing, I also have a review on my channel that will... for basically human DNA tests and kind of comparing them and showing which ones I personally like, because I've tried 3 different DNA tests at this point now. And so there is also a link in the description that will take you to that video on YouTube if you are curious and want to maybe check out the human version of this. But let's cover what the product is today. So like I said, it is the Embark DNA test kit. There is 3 different types of test kits. So which one is right for you? Let's go over kind of basically how the 3 different tests work. So I settled on Embark because when I was looking through and doing the research on the various different brands, they seem to have a largest DNA pool for dogs. And what I've learned through the human DNA testing version, that the larger the pool, the more accurate the results are. So that led me to choose Embark. They seem to be very highly rated, and that came into my decision. Now, which one to get out of the 3 options? So Embark has just the DNA test kit, which you see right here. They have another one, which is a little bit more money, if you want to include the health aspect. So they will give you markers in case you are curious. So for like my dog, that may be something like glaucoma, which is what my last Husky had. Then the final option is basically one that is designed for purebred. So if you do have a known purebred dog, that may be the one of interest for you, because it'll give you some more information about the purebred stats of your little pup. Now, I will say the purebred and the health are the same price point versus this guy. So one of the cool things about Embark is it will let you upgrade your test down the road. Now, so if you do decide you want to go ahead and sign up for the health, you can pay additional funds and get that access. So now a couple of quick things before we actually do the test. It says it covers 350 dog breeds and it uses 220,000 genetic markers, which they say is above a lot of the other competition. It'll also tell us if we have doggy relatives. That's less what I'm interested in. Like I said, I'm more interested in the different breed breakdown in which that is going to do it. So when you get the box, you just simply open it up like so, and it's going to be pretty easy setup. I'm assuming it's going to be like the human ones. You're going to use your activation code to activate it on the website. Then they are going to include the swab kit, and here is the swab itself, which you will swab your dog's mouth. And then they are going to include, and the third step here is going to be basically the package that you're going to mail it in, and so they can process the results. And then you're going to put the DNA sample in this little plastic thing when you put it in the little envelope. So that is basically the setup of everything. So let's go ahead and swab my dog. Let's get the results. Let's show you the footage of what it came back with, and then give you my final thoughts on if this was worth the money and how well I think it works. Okay, so let's go over the results here. So my dog came back, which is a Siberian Husky, with a lot of snow dogs in the list. But
But there was a couple actual interesting ones, like the Pit Bull Terrier and a Chow Chow and a Rottweiler. Those were all kind of interesting. If you click on the view profile, it also tells you the wolfness of your dog, because once again, I have a husky. Huskies are more naturally towards the higher end of the wolf scale. So next, if you continue to scroll on down, you will see it will give you a breakdown of each type of dog and breed, and gives you a little bit just about the little history and what kind of personalities those dogs have, which is kind of interesting to look at. And then at the very bottom, it's going to give you a breakdown of the dog's DNA based on the various breeds that it detected, which is pretty cool overall. Now, in addition, it will show you the family tree, and it will break down where the grandparents and great-grandparents and the various different breeds that it is tracking. You can also find other dogs that are similar to yours that people have basically made public, which is an option in the settings. And then it gives you some more basic DNA stuff, which tells you a little bit about where your dog is coming from or those various breeds are coming from. So in addition to the hypotype, which I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, you are also going to get the prenatal hypotype. So basically, these are the breakdowns between the female dog and the male dog, and it tells you a little bit about those. At least that's my understanding of what this is. But yeah, it gives you just more information of how they're pulling out that single DNA. It's probably something you'll read once and you probably won't go back to it, but it's still interesting nonetheless. Then finally, you get a little option of where it will detect how close you are to relatives, and kind of shows you where you are in the shared DNA thing, just kind of like the human version, which is kind of interesting. Now, if you sign up for the health traits, that is the last tab. For me, it's locked because I didn't sign up for that. But you can go down and do some research options if you want. This is personally just optional and kind of helps them learn more about various animals. So you can always click on that research tab. Now at the very, very bottom, you're going to find a certificate, which is basically just a quick abbreviated of everything that you just saw. And then a full report, which goes through all the pages. You can also do a veterinarian report or download your raw data.
Okay guys, now you've seen all the ins and outs of the Embark Dog DNA Test Kit. I want to give you a quick idea of how long it took for everything to be processed. So I mailed it basically on June 28th, and they received it 8 days later. Then I got an email 5 days after that saying that the processing has begun. 6 days after that, I got an email saying geotyping has begun. And then 4 days after that, I got the result. So total from the day I dropped it in the mail to the day that they emailed me the results basically took 22 days. And that is including weekends when they're not working. And of course, that including shipping postal time. So overall, 3 weeks from the minute you drop this in the mail to the minute I got my results. And then they sent lots of emails, which was kind of nice. They sent lots of emails during the process so you knew that they are working on it. But overall, if you are curious about the different breeds and the DNA makeup of your dog, this I find is a really great kit. I'm very pleased with it. I'm happy with my results. Makes me kind of wish my previous dogs that I had their DNA just so I could compare them. But yeah, that is basically the ins and outs of this. So if you are on the fence trying to figure out what doggy DNA that you want to get, I do totally recommend the Embark brand. If there is a comment or question that I didn't cover, feel free to hit me up in the comment section. I do typically respond to those. Or hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your results, what was your top results that came back. That will be fascinating and interesting. Oh, one other thing I do want to point out that some people will get a category, what is called super mutt, which that is just a ton of blend of dogs. And so if you have a true mutt out there, there is going to be a percentage of that. I didn't get that on my particular dog, but I've seen others with that result. But yeah, that is it. So check out the links in the description, and until the next video, you guys Take it easy. Later. Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. Help this little guy out by hitting that subscribe button. And then maybe sharing or hitting the like button too.